Hi there, I'm Monty Wilson, otherwise known as PawPaw, and this is my grandson. What's your name?
Jesse Hollander.
He's my best buddy and the love of my life and my fishing partner. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
We're best buddies. Jesse's 13 and I'm, well, it doesn't really matter, but I'm recently retired as a school teacher. Jesse's in the 6th grade where?
At Ocoee Middle School.
Ocoee Middle School. Now, we're trying to make this video to win us a trip so we can go fishing because that's what we do best. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
The unique thing here about Jesse is what, Jesse?
I caught...
No, we don't want to know about what you caught yet. Jesse's autistic.
I'm autistic.
That's right. And early on in his life, when he was first diagnosed, we were told that Jesse would probably have to be institutionalized, that he'd never talk, he'd never say mama, daddy, anything, which is, needless to say, kind of heart-wrenching news. But through a whole lot of hard work and effort, both from Jesse and from me and his mother and Mama, who was working the camera, and lots of other good people, Jesse has progressed to the point of what you see now. Even if we don't win the trip, hopefully maybe this will be an inspiration to other parents or families who are dealing with autism that show that about anything is possible. Now, give you a little background or, well, that's good, background for Jesse and myself and our relationship. I've got some pictures here to show you what Jesse looked like when he was about 2, maybe 3. And here's a picture of him. He looked like a little Adonis with curly hair, and that was natural blonde curly hair, giving PawPaw a shave. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You don't do it.
I remember you shaving.
And now here's another one, giving PawPaw a haircut when he was about 5 or 6 years old. One of the biggest things we've always done with Jesse is to make life as normal as possible. Obviously, he's not going to be able to experience everything that everybody else does, but in some regards, maybe that's a good thing. Jesse takes people for who they are. You know, most autistic children are not sociable. They can't make eye contact, and at one point in their lives, as I mentioned, they're told he'll never talk or anything else. Now we can't get him to shut up. Another one of Jesse's nicknames is Jesse the Entertainer. Am I right?
Yes, sir, Papa.
You don't have to do that every time now. And I mean to tell you, he's an entertainer. And he's the most lovable, wonderful child you'd ever want to meet. After you spent 2 minutes with Jesse, you're his best friend. So anyway, some other pictures. What is it you've always wanted to be?
A chef.
A chef. For some reason or another, Jesse got on a chef kick, and he's still on it. He loves to watch Gordon Ramsay, and here's a picture I took of him when we were doing a school project, and him making an omelet with his chef's apron and his hat and so forth on. He's not as big on it as he used to be. I don't know if that's because he's a teenager now or what it is. But he does love to fish. Am I right, Jesse?
Yes, Papa.
Okay. One other little picture I might want to show you is when we took him to the prom about 5 or 6 years ago, wasn't it, Mama?
Yes.
And we got him a tuxedo and a carnation, and he ended up looking like James Bond. And he danced more with the girls there than their dates did. So he is not shy to be around people. Is that right?
Yes, Pawpaw.
Now, of course, we're trying to get on a fishing show, and obviously you probably ought to have some fishing pictures. Now, what was the first fish you ever caught? Do you remember?
4-pound bass.
No, it wasn't. It was a bluegill.
Bluegill.
Brim.
Brim.
Fishing with crickets.
Fishing with crickets.
Off a dock,
Off
right?
a dock.
Okay. And we caught quite a few, didn't we?
We got quite a few, Pawpaw.
We did now. Just be natural.
Mm-hmm.
Be natural.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then you caught one, and what happened on this particular brim you caught? Do you remember what happened?
But first, I throw the cricket
Yeah.
in the water,
Mm-hmm.
and the bluegill bite my cricket, and I jerked it, and this 4-pound bass bite the bluegill, swallow the bluegill, and I caught it, and the bass swallowed the bluegill in its throat.
That's right. And there's the pictures we took of it, and it still had the bluegill sticking out of his throat. And one of these pictures ended up in the newspaper, a little weekly thing they have around here in Chattanooga, in a sports page. And you can see, this is one of my all-time favorite pictures. It's just a great picture. And it was bigger than any bass I caught that year. And of course, what else have you caught?
Catfish.
Caught catfish. There's a picture of one of the catfish he's caught. And how about crappie?
And crappie.
Crappie. Yeah. And so forth. We just live about a block from the Lake Chickamauga here in Chattanooga. And so we go down to the launching ramp or the neighborhood property and fish off the bank with crickets and minnows, don't we?
Yes.
Give them that award-winning smile. Anyway, so we don't have a boat, and we do just as good as everyone else and probably have just as much fun. Well, I know we do. This past year, well, 2 years ago, we go down to Daytona every year, Florida. We have a timeshare down there, and Jesse's gone with us probably for the last, 10 years, or maybe not that long, about the last 8 years. And anyway, 2 years ago, we took him swimming with the dolphins. And that's another thing, you know, I look at it as my duty or my goal in life is to see that Jesse has every possible experience he can have. You know, like I said, he's not going to be able to do a lot of things that other people do, but whatever we can do for him and include him in, he's going to do it. And I think this has gone a long ways toward helping his autism. As a matter of fact, what kind of grades you make now?
A's and A honor rolls and
Honor rolls. Here, you just want to be in an institution, and now you make the honor roll, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And let's see, this past summer, we decided to go on a deep sea fishing trip. I'd never been on one myself, I always wanted to go. And so we did a half-a-day charter out of Ponce Inlet in Daytona Beach. And Mama and Jesse and myself went. And Jesse and Mama fished, but mostly it's Jesse. And what all did you catch there on that trip, Jesse?
King mackerel.
Got a king mackerel. This picture ended up in the newspaper too. Of course, you know who sent it in, me. And what else did you catch?
Spanish mackerel.
Spanish mackerel.
And 2 bonitas.
Bonitas, yeah. So we basically had a great time, didn't we? There's PawPaw and Jesse on the boat there, and Jesse's got his do-rag on, mainly because I messed up his haircut before we left. I had to burr it off, and but we didn't want his head to get blistered or anything else. Hopefully we provided enough information to the powers that be to maybe they'll pick us to go. I think we'd be very entertaining. Just sitting here doing this is kind of hard, but both of us are big cut-ups. I always have been. My grandfather started me out fishing. He is a big cut-up, and he always told me he wanted to have a little boy in him all his life, and he did right up to when he died, and I hope I always have a little boy in me up till I die. And as long as I've got Jesse, I know I'll be that way. But anyway, like I said, hopefully if people see this, it will give them some inspiration and hope that autism is not the end all, and you can overcome a lot of the things that go with it, and maybe someday they'll find a cure for it. So this is PawPaw and Jesse Hollander signing off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you think that'll do? You want to say anything to the camera or to the people?
Bye, everybody.
Huh? Well, wait a minute. I know. I was going to ask you one other thing. If you had one fish that you could catch, what would it be?
One fish to catch.
Yeah.
That will be...
Now think about all the fish that you've seen and watched on TV.
Well, a bass.
Now, you've already caught a bass. Peacock bass would be good.
Peacock bass.
But what about that old alligator gar?
Alligator gar, yeah.
Yeah, you always want to catch an alligator gar.
Yeah, I love to catch one, but I never caught one.
No, we've hooked a couple of gars, but they got off. But an old alligator gar. Personally, PawPaw always wanted to catch a tarpon.
And he wanted to catch a tarpon because he wanted to want one.
Wanted what?
He wanted to take a picture. I wanted to take a picture of him and a fish.
And let it go, right?
And let it go and release him.
That's right. Catch and release.
Catch and release.
So this is PawPaw and Jesse signing off, and hopefully we'll see you down the road. Bye.
Bye.